Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game, and as you can see over here, yes, that's right, we are looking at faction pack building. In other words, what could future faction packs look like? Well, I think a few of these are fairly straightforward. A few of these have a bit more going on, but let's take a look. So first, we're going to kick it off with the Bajoran. Uh, I don't think there's much up for debate here. Two Raiders, because they're small, they're very useful, highly maneuverable. One of the scouts, and you need to put a light ship in there so that it gets recosted. And I think you can do things with the light ship now that you couldn't do before. I think time tokens are a better thing. I think there's some better ways to do some disruption, some putting time tokens on things. I think there's some play that the light ship would have. So I think that a Bajoran faction pack, pretty easy to put in there if you wanted to go two scouts instead of two raiders. It's all up there. And even realistically, the Bajorans are small enough you could actually put in two raiders, two scouts, and the one light ship. And have a 5-ship faction pack. It fits for Alliance, I get it. There's more room, the Alliance box size is a little different, but I think you could kind of stack the ships a little different, do kind of like a W or an M in there, and it would work. All right, the Kazon pack. Two Predators, those are the big ones. One Voyager, yes, the Kazon Voyager. I'm making it happen, it's a thing. And one Raider, that's the smaller one. I think that works. I think that's a good distribution of ships. It's 3 big ships, which Kazon need. They need big ships, but it's one Raider, one small ship. You could also drop it, go one Predator, 2 Raiders. That's fine. That would be 2 bigger, 2 smaller. I like the idea of 3 big, 1 small, but 2 and go 1 Predator, 2 Raiders. It's there. But the Voyager is the key piece. I'd also love to see some landing gear for Voyager. I don't know how you make that work. But that would also be kind of a fun little mini campaign in the Trails of Ships of the Line. I think there's some intrigue there. Motley Fleet 2. And yes, I do think we get Motley Fleet 2. Krenim Time Ship, which I think is almost certain. Get to play around with time tokens like it should have been from the get-go. Assume Assimilator, because I don't see another good place where you can put this in to get it recosted. A Tholian ship, because we need a recost of it, and what better place than the Motley Fleet? And a Hirogen. Now, here, Tholians are small. You could easily fit 2 of them in there and get 2 Tholians for the price of 1. And we need a named Tholian ship that's not Tholia 1. So maybe 2 named Tholians, please. Maybe. I don't know. So that's in there. Mirror Mirror. This is kind of my off-the-wall pack. But there's some mirror ships that need to be recosted. In fact, almost none of these mirror ships have been recosted because they are either one-offs like the Olympic, or they have different stat lines. The Defiant, the Mirror Defiant, the Mirror Negvar, the Mirror Dideradix all have different stat lines. So, recost it. The Mirror faction sees almost no play because it's too expensive. The ships are too expensive. The dual faction mirror stuff gets a ton of play, but basic mirror gets left out in the cold. While you're at it, the Bajoran Interceptor would be a great addition to the mirror faction. We saw it. It gives the Defiant something to go up against. The Bajoran Rebels would be there, or either to help the Defiant go up against the Negvar. I think there's some nice team-up work there. It could be fun. Okay, a Zindi faction pack. I think this is almost a slam dunk. We need to see it. We need Zindi ships, A, out in the wild again, and B, more accessible. The 3 aquatic, reptilian, insectoid. Very straightforward. Super easy to get. And my fourth, I think we put in the alternate future NX-01 where Enterprise failed and then stayed in the Expanse to go back in time. Do that whole thing. The ship was falling apart. I think we could see that. That would introduce some new crew. And there's a reason I don't think we need the straight up NX-01, and that's because I think we can put in an Earth Romulan War Pack, which gives us the NX-01, the NX-02, Romulan Bird of Prey, because we haven't seen that recosted, the Enterprise era Romulan ship, and a Romulan drone ship, which we have seen recosted. But I believe that there could be a hypothetical prototype 03 out there that the Romulan Empire Tal Shiar used again. Why not? Just give us a new named ability. Throw it out there. I think it could be fun. Mostly this is I want to see Columbia come into play. Give us that ship, please. All right, then I want a captured faction pack. I think this could be fun. It's almost like Motley Fleet 3, except it's not. It's mostly independent. Independent Borg Sphere from that Voyager episode where you had the Borg that were dreaming and retaining their individuality in that. A Maquis Defiant, and yes, I know we got Thomas Riker and all of that, but we didn't get an independent Defiant, and I think giving us that named ship could be interesting and useful. The Ferengi Enterprise D, when the one-off Rascals episode where the Ferengi capture the Enterprise. And then I want to see a Borg version of Enterprise E. Don't worry, this is not the last Enterprise E reprint, we'll see. But I think that a Borg E would be a good thing. All right, a very simple faction pack coming, the Species 8472 pack, with 3 bioships, not 4, because I think this is also a very simple place to put a Borg tactical cube. I think it works. Then, the Insurrection pack. Yes, after all of these things, I think we can finally get to some new molds. 3 Sona ships. 1 bigger, 2 smaller, and then an Enterprise E. Because it's been a while since we've seen an Enterprise E. They go for ridiculous amounts of money on the secondary market. We should have a straight up Enterprise E. Then, and yes, there is more, the Narendra 3 faction pack. A Romulan ship appropriate to the time, 2 Ambassador class ships, and a Yesterday's Enterprise D. And yes, that's a bit wordy. Clean it up a little bit. But it's a mirror Enterprise D in the alternate uniforms, mirror universe. A lot of good stuff there. And then probably a terribly named faction pack. I guess we have to, which gives us a recosting of the Nova, the Aerie class Raven, the Type 7 shuttlecraft, the little pinhead, teeny tiny Fed shuttle, and the Constellation, the Hathaway type ship that we have somehow not had recosted in everything that we've done. Those are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 faction packs that I came up with. Let me know what you think. Which ones are viable? Which ones are not viable? What do you think? What would you do instead? Let me know. All right, thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.